Okay, we're underneath the hood of a 1967 Chevelle SS 138 code, a real super sport Chevelle. Started life that way, and it's absolutely a fine example of one today. The engine itself is a built 454, oval port heads, Holley carburetor on it, power brakes, dual stage master cylinder, no power steering. It really doesn't need it. This car feels light enough on the nose that you can drive it without power steering and enjoy the car. It does have the heater hooked up for the passenger compartment. And like I said, this is a built 454 and completely fresh. Everything on this engine has been addressed. All the internals have been refreshed and done. New cam, new lifters, new springs, valve job, everything done to the nth degree on it. And it runs just like it looks too. Fantastic, fantastic vehicle. It has an HEI distributor system in it. High silicone plug wires going to the plugs. Headers themselves are a little smaller design. I'm going to call them a 2-inch header. Give it a lot of mid-range torque. Really a great running, great sounding engine compartment in this thing. Battery itself is new. Fender wells are painted a gloss black instead of being flat black the way they come from the factory. These have been accentuated into a very, very bright gloss black finish. Very well done. Frame itself is all nice and clean. All the suspension components you'll see underneath when we do our video there. But looking on top here, everything is new. The shocks are new. All the bushings are new. No leaks whatsoever on the engine. Of course, it's just a complete fresh rebuild. There's literally not much time on this engine itself. High flow aluminum radiator on it. Great big wide one, the way a SS car would have. Core support's never been damaged or anything. It is the original core support in the car. Everything on this engine compartment is really high end. The cowl tag's still nice and legible and intact, just where it should be. Great car under the engine compartment here. The hood still has the sound deadener insulation installed the way it would have been from the factory. It's a great looking engine compartment and a great engine for this vehicle. Let's go around the rest of it and see what we can find. Hi, you're at Hanksters in Daytona Beach, Florida, and today we have a 67 Chevelle, one of everybody's favorite muscle cars of all times. We just had one. It lasted about, 3 days on our website, gone. Managed to pick this guy up. This thing is absolutely above what you would ever expect a car to be finished like. Fantastic combination here. The paint on this vehicle is definitely not driver quality. This is a show quality paint job on it. There's no deviations in it. There's no fading or anything in the material that was laid on here itself. The paint is just as nice as could possibly be. And look at the fit and finish on this thing. Look at this. About 1/8 of an inch. Look at this. Of course, Chevrolet designation on it. Down this side the same way. About 1/8 of an inch the whole way around this thing. These are usually patinaed up, pitted up a little bit. This particular vehicle has 2 absolute brand new scoop ends on it that the chrome is a foot deep on it. It's just absolutely as flawless as you could ever hope to find them. And the way they fit, just everything on this vehicle is just exemplary. It really is. Trim around the headlights, where this is usually all chipped up or flaked off. This is just as it was when it was new. The grille itself, the anodization on it is nice and clean and fresh, just the way it was when it was new. SS 396 designation on the front. Trim around the headlights the same way. Filler panel. Bumper fitment. That is right on. Absolutely right on. SS designation on the front also. The bumper has no scuffs or marks or deviations in the chrome at all on it. And again, the fitment of that front bumper is just spot on. It cannot be any better than it is. It's absolutely right on the money. Whole front end of this car appears to be better than new. It never fit this way in 1967. It does now. The finish, of course, was never even close to this in 1967. You got an exemplary paint job on this vehicle, and the fit of the panels is just completely out of this world compared to what it would have been in 1967. Someone spent a lot of time on this guy. Okay, let's go down the driver's side. Okay, driver's side of our 67 Chevelle. 396 turbojet designation in the front with the old Corvette flags on it, just the way it should be. Wheel lift molding. Kind of this fits. Can't even get your fingernail in there. Really, really precise fit. And look at this. This is totally amazing. I mean, totally amazing. The hood, to the cowl, to the windshield A-pillar, to the fender, to the door, nothing. You can close your eyes and you can't feel a deviation on it anywhere. Correct wiper arms and blades on this guy. Trim around the front window. No marks, no dinghies whatsoever. Brand new fresh dash pad on it, and the dash itself is refinished where it goes onto the base of the windshield, spotlessly clean. No cracks, no deviations in anything, no fading on the top of the dash itself, which is red. You gotta like red on this guy because it's got a red interior, a red car, everything's red. Trim around the wing area. Normally these things have some patina on them. This has none, and I accentuate none. Top, there's absolutely nothing. There's no marks, there's no chips, there's no dings, nothing whatsoever. Drip rail molding the same way. There's no dents or imperfections on it. Tinted glass in the front, tinted glass on the sides. Window fitment is just as precise as you'd ever want to have. Brand new wipes, whiskers with the rubber channeled pieces that go onto the body panels. And I can't get my finger even underneath the rubber on these. They fit so precisely. And they are new. New chrome door handles. This entire vehicle's been completely reconditioned on a total rust-free body too, by the way. Chevrolet emblemed mirror on it, the way it should be. Look at this. Amazing. That is totally amazing. Look at that. Rocker panel moldings. No marks, no dents, no heel kicks or anything on them. Really look good. Sail panel, there's no marks or any deviations whatsoever in it. Trim around the back window. No marks whatsoever on it. Hatch shelf has been replaced, and it's a new hatch shelf, of course red. Back of the seat isn't faded whatsoever, absolutely none. Quarter panel. Again, wheel lip molding, just as nice as you'd ever want to have. Tin, no Bondo. Super Sport designation the way they did in 1967. The paint on this car is just totally amazing. I wish you could see it in the video. You can't, but I'm just telling you, this is not an average paint job. This is a show quality finish on this vehicle. Certainly hands above anything that General Motors ever laid on in 1967. 17-inch torque thrust style wheels with more of a, I don't know, like a medium gray center to them and a brushed outer rim. Nice looking wheel. It really gives this car a lot of look, a lot of pop. Tires are new on it. If for some reason you want to put this back to a more original look, we do have a set of rally wheels available that we can swap these out for. So we do have 15-inch rallies with the trim rings and the tall hat centers that would go with this vehicle if you choose to take them instead of these. We are going to offer that as an option. Another car. When I'm standing here, there are no doors on this car. It's just one solid body mass the whole way down. There's not a single mark, deviation, chip, ding, door dent, nothing. This is as flawless a driver's side car that you could ever find. Let's go out back, see if we can find something there for you. Okay, rear section of our 67 Super Sport 138 code Chevelle. Again, look at this. You can blow these pictures up that Devin is going to take the still photos so that you can see the precise fitment of the panels on this car. It's hard to believe that someone can achieve this degree of fitment on these vehicles when General Motors couldn't when they built it. The paint on this car, again, is just, I keep bringing this up, but the paint is just unbelievable. Okay. Anodized aluminum trim that goes onto the chrome end pieces here, which, by the way, these are usually cracked or marked in some way and have some patina. This one does not, and neither does this one's the same way. There's absolutely no patina whatsoever. Satin finished in black around the back fascia, just the way it should be. SS396 designation. And again, the anodized aluminum where it comes up to the taillight assembly, as you can see, that's just as precise as you could ever hope to fit one. Rear bumper fitment. I don't know how you get it any better. And again, the chrome on the bumper is just as sweet as you'd ever want to find. I mean, there's no marks whatsoever on it. Absolutely none. Absolutely none. The backup lights, nice and crystal clear. You're not going to find a better back end than this. This is as precise and as nice as you would ever hope to find one. It's flawless so far. We got one more side to go. Okay, passenger side of our 138 code, real Super Sport 67 Chevelle. Again, Super Sport designation on the back. Look at the fitment of this thing. This is totally unbelievable. Tinted. Trim around the back window. Not going to get any better than that for sure. Tinted glass in the back. Appears to be tinted. I know it's tinted on the sides, it's tinted on the front. It's hard to tell looking down through it, but we'll call it tinted. If it isn't, I guess it isn't, but it appears to be. Wheel lip molding. Precise fit just like the other side. Sail panel the same way as the other side. There's no imperfections whatsoever. The roof is flawless. I mean, absolutely flawless on this vehicle. Drip grill, same way. Whiskers, absolutely new. Rubber fitting onto the top of the quarter and the top of the door, just flawless. Window fitment front to back, again, just as nice as you'd ever want to find. Brand new door handle. GM bow tie mirror on it, just the way it should be on the right hand side. Great addition. Again, look at this door. Holy crap. That's as nice a fitment as you'd ever want to find. And front of the door to the front fender, same way. And again, look at this. This is totally amazing. It really is. Trim around the front wheel. And back to our 396 turbojet designation where we started. Wow. The car's totally amazing. There's not a single mark, a chip, a deviation, a dent, a scrape, a fitment problem. The hood, the deck lid, both doors, all the grill area, the trim around the grill, the trim around the back end, the tail light assemblies. Everything fits so precise on this car. It's hard to describe to you how precise it does fit. This thing's not a Porsche or a Ferrari, but I'll tell you what. It's awful close to the fitment of one of those cars. We run across them every once in a while that are fit that well, and this is one of them. It's a 67 Chevelle SS 138 code car with a big block 454 in it, all done. This car will tear your head off. It runs fine, it drives good, it's got so much torque and so much power that you can ignite the tires anytime you want on this vehicle. Great running vehicle. It is not a correct number car. I want to bring that up. It is a real SS car, however. It is a 138 code. It's what it started its life as a Super Sport 396 in 1967. And it is a correct red car with a red interior. So it's available here at Hanksters in Daytona Beach, Florida. And we encourage everyone to come down and take a look at it. And this is a car that you really should come and take a look at it, because I can't emphasize how nice the fitment of this vehicle is. It's just one of those that's completely over the top, fitment and finish wise. It's a show quality vehicle in every sense of the word. So it's here at Hanksters. Jump on a bird or jump in your car, come down, take a look at it. Or if that doesn't work, that's why we're doing these videos for you. We're trying to give you as much information as we possibly can to help you in your decision on buying a car from Hanksters. But it's here in Daytona Beach. It's going to be very nominally priced for a 67. They're very, very difficult to find. So take a look at this guy. Well, this is the interior of our 1967 red Chevelle 138 code real super sport car. Listen to that. Tight as a drum headliner, and if you notice, the dome light does work in it. Dash itself is nice and resilient, brand new dash. The interior in this vehicle is all brand new. New seats, new carpeting, new dash pad, new door panels, new rear door panels, new rear seat, new car. Everything's new in it. There's no cracks in the steering wheel. It is the original GM wheel that came with this car. The brushed spokes on it are just as nice and fresh as they could possibly be. SS designation on the steering wheel. Door panels again are new. It has the molded style armrests on it with the correct chrome backings, mounting brackets, the way it should be. The chrome door handles themselves and window cranks are all new, front and rear. Trash trays in the rear, again they're new, and the armrest and mounting bracket with that's chrome is new on that also. Carpeting is all new, and it's a loop pile type carpeting. Chevelle floor mats on it. Console with the center glove box, and you got a glove box in the dashboard also. Trim on the dash itself. All this chrome is absolutely brand new, not refurbished, not just cleaned up. This is new chrome. Everything is new on it. Nothing's deviated in any way. Original AM radio that came with the car. It has a quadrant of gauges with it. It has a fuel gauge, a volt gauge, oil pressure, and temp. Does not have air conditioning. It does, however, have a clock that works. You believe that? This clock is working in this vehicle, 1967. Key to the whole operation on this guy is this. 4-speed Hurst Shifter in it. All the trim, the chrome around the top of the windows is just as nice and fresh as can possibly be. Sun visors themselves, the stitching is nice and tight, not coming loose. There's no milkiness or whatsoever in the mirror, and it is a day-night mirror in it also. There's not one thing in this car that I can tell you negative on. The door jambs themselves are nice and crisp and clean and crisp looking, nice fresh paint in them. The seals, all the seals, are all fresh and nice and resilient, just the way they should be. The pedals themselves are new, they're not worn. This is as nice a 67 Chevelle as you're going to find on the planet. Kick panels don't have any marks on them. This thing's just absolutely new. It's new on the outside and it's new on the inside. We're going to go for a drive yet and see what this guy runs like, and we're going to do an undercarriage presentation on it for you too, because I know it is a total rust-free southern body. So this is a new Chevelle. You got to take a look at it. Hanksters, Daytona Beach. Chevelle, we have, let's see, left turn signal working. See? Left turn signal. Right turn signal working as it should. Oil pressure up high to where it's supposed to be. Temperature just starting to come up because we just started it. Battery is charging just a little tiny bit the way it should be, and we got a little bit under a half a tank of fuel. So, got all those guys working. Let's see, radio, ain't a chance in the world of that working. Nope. But it is the original radio. You don't change that. If you're going to put a sound system in it, you put it in the glove box or in the trunk. You don't take an original radio out. That's nice. Wipers. Let's see if these wipers work. Okay, wipers are working. Okay. Horn. Horn is not making any noise for me, so that's something we have to address. Definitely have to address the horn. Other than that, I think everything works in it. I don't see anything that doesn't. Even the dome light works. Nice car. We're going to go for a ride, see what this guy runs like. Nice, tight running car. You can tell this is a fresh rebuild. I mean, everything on it is tight. Speedometer is not working. We have to find out why that's not functioning as it should. And the horn. Other than that, we haven't found anything. Car goes down the road straight as an arrow. When I get on top here, see? No hands, straight as an arrow. Just goes as nice as can possibly be. Let's see if it stops. No hands. Oh, we've got to angle it right though. Yeah. Stop straight. Strong running car. It goes straight as an arrow, pulls good, runs good. Nice tight car. A little squirt here, see what it runs like. A little bit of a shot. Pulls like a freight train. Nice tight running car. Just goes down the road straight as an arrow. You know, it runs good, sounds good. Horn does not work. Speedometer does not work. Two items we have to address for you before we sell the car. But other than that, this thing is an absolute diamond. I can't imagine there's a nicer 67 Chevelle on the planet. Okay, this is the undercarriage of our 1967 138 coat SS Chevelle. 454, fresh motor, just all put together. You can see there's no leaks whatsoever on it. Bell housing, I'm sure has a new clutch and pressure plate in it. M22 rock crusher transmission in it. Very, very heavy duty tranny for these guys. New rotors in the front, new calipers in the front, new backing plates, new hardware, all new lines for them. Appears to be new front springs in it, new shocks. I'm sure that both sides. Yep, both sides. Sway bar links have polyurethane bushings in them. The tie rod ends also have polyurethane bushings. The sway bar itself has new rubber bushings in the front, heavy duty sway bar for a SS style Chevelle. Long tube headers that we stated from our engine compartment presentation. 3-inch collector going into, I'm going to call them 2 1/8 inch pipes heading back toward the these are stainless steel also, by the way. The exhaust system on this vehicle is stainless as opposed to just mild steel. No jack marks whatsoever on the inner fender panels where they come down. A lot of guys will put a jack there and sometimes it slips it, or a jack stand that bends those fender panels. No marks whatsoever on these. The full frame sections in the front have no jack marks whatsoever on them, nor do the side C-channel sections. The brace that goes across here has been reconditioned, new transmission mount on it. The brake lines, they are the original brake lines on this vehicle. There was no reason to replace them, and they are still just as fresh and clean as they could possibly be. The original fuel line the same way on the passenger side. Parking brakes still hooked up and functional. Floor pans on this thing are absolutely unbelievable. This is a no rust, no perforation, no BS undercarriage on this vehicle. I don't see any panels that have been replaced, side panels either. Your rocker panels, quarter panels, everything are all original on this car. I don't see anything that's been disrupted and replaced. Again, the floor pans themselves, unobstructed, unmessed, no jack marks, no dents, no dings. Just absolutely as they were in 1967 when they left the factory. New U-joint in the front. Again, no leaks on the tail shaft section. Shifter's going to need grease. I'm going to do that as soon as we're done with this video. I'm going to hit it with some white lithium, grease it. It looks a little dry. MagnaFlow stainless steel mufflers on this guy, 2 1/8 inch going into them. Swing arm assemblies in the back. There's no jack marks whatsoever on them. Usually you see a jack mark or a dent or a mark somewhere on it. But again, the frame sections, the C channels, there's none whatsoever that I can see on this vehicle. I don't know how the heck they jacked this thing up through the years, other than on the where you're supposed to jack it up, on the box channel pieces that won't bend. Someone's taken a lot of care of this car through the years. Springs in the back also appear to be replacement. They're not original ones, but they are fresh new GM type parts on it. New heavy duty shocks in the rear to complement the ones in the front. Disc in the front, drums in the rear. New U-joint on the back here also. Again, the floor pans in the back and everything where it transitions up over the rear differential. All original, all as it was in 1967 when it left the factory. No marks whatsoever. Absolutely none. Box channels in the back where it goes back into the C channel, back behind the rear wheels for the frame section, just as fresh and clean as you'd ever hope to find. Drop downs in the quarters are absolutely as they were in 1967 when this guy left the factory. The brace across the back, there is a little pull on it. Somebody hooked a chain to it at one point of its life and then pulled it backwards for some reason. Stainless steel gas tank in it. I haven't seen one of these for a while, but this is definitely a stainless steel gas tank that's put in this vehicle with a new sending unit and a new rubber line to go on to the original steel line that goes toward the front of the vehicle. 12 bolt heavy duty Chevy rear. 12 bolt. Chrome cover. Again, you can see no leaks in the driveline whatsoever. Complete fresh new rebuild on the driveline. No dings, marks whatsoever on the floor pans or their structural bracing underneath. Functional park and brake. This thing is as new a vehicle as it was in 1967 when it left the factory. Pretty exemplary vehicle. It's here at Hankster's, and you really need to take a look at this because this is a Chevelle that you're going to have a very hard time finding a duplication of. It's a fantastic car. It's going to be nominally priced for a 67. They're not cheap because you can't find them, and they are the most popular Chevelle out there. Every time we have one of these, it does not last very long, and this is one of the nicest ones we've had for a long time. Very, very long time. Here at Hankster's, Daytona Beach, Florida.